Okay, I don't know about you, but I feel like Ulta's 20% off coupons are coming less frequently and less frequently. Like I feel like they're just they're really holding those close to their hearts, close to their sleeve, close to their belt, whatever the saying is. And when I saw one that came out, I was like, okay, I'm using it right now. Well, not right in that instant. I actually like took a while to build my cart. I had a feeling one was gonna come right around the Sephora spring sale, and I'm glad that I waited. I had a few things that I had my eye on. I did decide to pick my number one thing up. I have a lot, I have a stupid amount of points that I need to get through, and so I always try to like stack those with a coupon. And so we're gonna dive into everything that I got, but if we haven't met before, my name is Kelly and I'm a professional hair and makeup artist, and here on my channel, I strive to keep beauty real. Real honest, real relatable, and real fun. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, don't forget to click subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. All right, we are gonna dive right in. Without further ado, we're gonna start with the number one thing that has been on my wish list, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I really wanna get this, and it's been in there in my cart for a while. And that's this. This is the newest Billie Eilish perfume, Your Turn. I smelled this in store. I like got a little fragrance card and I was just like walking around with it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is unique. I really like this. This isn't like anything else in my collection. And I was so excited to pick this up. I was like, I'm pretty sure I want to get this. It wasn't like anything else in my collection because I don't think it's something that I would normally be drawn into right away. And so I took the little card with me. I walked out to the car. I kept like sniffing it. I was like, yeah, I did also put it on myself. I did also put it myself, I know. But I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I want to get this. So it's been on my wish list for quite a while. So what happened was I went into store and I was like, all right, if I'm going to do this, I really need to make sure that I still like this as much as I originally did. And I was in Ulta for quite a while, like sniffing perfumes, like doing all these things. By the way, for any of you that are going to come at me, I know that I had in my beauty goals for this year that I was going to not purchase any perfume until May 1st. However, this 20% off coupon and I was using points, so I knew I wasn't spending any dollars. I knew I wasn't spending any dollars on this going into it. So I was like, that's maybe cheating, but not really, because I really wasn't spending any dollars. And we're awfully close to May. Anyway, so I went in and I sprayed this on and I was like, oh, maybe I don't want this. I was like, wow, this is, to me, it smelled very leathery, very masculine at the front, which I remember it had a masculine note, but I remembered it drying down into something better. So I was like, okay, yep, maybe I'm not doing this. So I was like walking around and seeing if there was anything else that I had been intrigued by in the past. Spoiler alert, I did get suckered into something that I was curious to smell after watching Alicia Budget Beauty talk about one, and I was like, this is really intriguing to me. I just need to smell this one. I did get suckered into it. So we're gonna talk about that in a minute. Well, not suckered. I did decide to get it. I'm very excited for it. So it's not necessarily a sucker situation, but that was a little bit of an impulse. But anyway, we're gonna roll back here. So I'm smelling Your Turn. I'm smelling it, and I was like, I don't think I'm getting this. And I'm texting my friend Jody because we're fellow fragrance lovers. And I was like, yeah, I'm getting Your Turn. And then I was like, no, I'm not getting this. I'm so glad I came in and decided to try this on because, you know, that's a big purchase. And for those of you that don't know, when you spend your Ulta points, if you change your mind, you cannot get those points back. So when I am buying things with my points, I usually, honestly, as boring as it is, I usually get like restock items because they're things that I know that I'm going to love and not regret. But I will say this fragrance really kind of takes you on a journey, which is something that I actually enjoy. You know, I have a couple scents from different fragrance houses that really do that, where your top, middle, and dry down notes are very like, they're very different. And so they really take you on a scent journey. It's not just that, you know, it gets down into something creamy and it started out fruity. Like it's a little bit more polarizing, and it's kind of interesting. So that's exactly what happened with this scent. I mean, it's pretty obvious that I decided that I did really enjoy it because I did get it. And it's funny because I'm sure Jody just thought, she was probably laughing at me because I was like, no, not getting this one, way too masculine. Oh my God, so glad I tried this on. And then even by the time I got home, I was like, dang, I don't know. This one's really nice. I think I might be getting this. We're going to have to see. We're going to have to see how this goes tonight. And she was just like, keep me updated. Well, first of all, Jeremy loved it right away. And I was like, well, not that I only wear things that he's going to love, but it was really nice to have him react and really like something. Like, he is someone who really can appreciate fragrance, and there are things that he's like, oh yeah, that's nice, but it's not that often he's like, oh yeah, I really like that. And this was like, oh yeah, I really like that. You know, most of us enjoy smelling good for our partner. And so that was just something that like was really nice. So I'm sure you've seen this. If you are a fragrance lover, I'm sure that you have seen this. This bottle, people either love it or hate it. I honestly, I really like it. It is a fingerprint magnet, as you would imagine. Magnet. So this one is definitely very fingerprinty. I don't know. I really like the fact that it has this offset cap. I just love this. Okay, so here are the notes here. You have in the top notes, we have bergamot peel, cardamom pod, and fresh ginger. So think about that zing, that burst of cardamom. You get a bit of, it says bergamot, but there's something in this to me that smells a bit leathery or suedey, maybe suede more than leather, but that little bit of, yeah, just that, it is a little bit more masculine at the opening, like that, I don't know, it just smells like a warm hug from a sexy man at the beginning, which I'm never gonna be mad at. Now the mid notes are velvet peach skin, night blooming jasmine, and coconut water. This is where the interest is for me, in that if you did not know that there was peach in this, you would not say that it's peachy. And it is not peach like juicy peach. It is not peach like peach gummy rings. It is really, if you had a peach sitting out in the sun and you smell that peach, you almost get that, like, the fuzz of the peach. I don't know how you can smell fuzz, but you can in this. It's dry. It's a dry peach. And that night blooming jasmine, I like jasmine. The coconut water is there just in that like soft creaminess. If you have ever tasted or smelled coconut water, it is not like coconut cream. It's not like dried sweetened coconut flakes. It's just that hint of fresh coconut. Now the dry down is Sandalwood Australia, Captive Musks, and Upcycled Sylvamber, which is a trademarked molecular note, and it actually is more of like a woody note, but a very warm wood. So I really like it, and that's really, you really get that in that dry down, that very warm woodsy vibe. And I think that that's what is very interesting for me with this. It starts out with that masculine burst, but in the dry down, it goes into a very sexy skin, cozy scent. I think that as long as you can get down with that little bit of masculinity at the beginning, the scent is just so nice. It's so nice. It's definitely one of those that you have to try on your skin. You really need to try this on your skin to see how those notes react. I really like this one. I really like this one. I have been wearing this a lot. I've already put quite a dent in this. I'm glad I got the big bottle. I'm glad I got the big bottle because I know I'm going to go through this. Not only because I like it, but honestly, I think you have to be pretty heavy-handed with this one. Like, that mid and dry down is much softer, and so if you want some longevity out of this, you really got to give it a hard go. You got to overspray this one, which, you know what, it's fine. For the price, it's really good for a very unique fragrance. I'm about to get into the pricing on this in just a second, but I will say that I have also worn this to amplify that peach. I have paired this with a peach body spray that I have. I also have a sample of, I just pulled it out of my samples, Peach Fields from Skylar. I think that's a Skylar one. I'm going to try these two together to sort of amplify that fruity note a little bit. I could definitely see enjoying it that way, but even on its own, it's stellar. Okay, so here is where I got sucked in here's where I got sucked in to getting the big bottle. So this is the 3.4 ounce, and this is $90 at full price. The 1.7 ounce, so that is half this size, $80. So for $10 more, you can go from the 1.7 to the 3.4. I have a feeling it's all in the packaging because all of the packages, all the sizes have this, other than of course the travel size, they have this like dice thing going on. So the packaging is probably just as expensive in all the sizes. Now the 1 ounce is $70. So for $20 extra, I could literally have triple the amount, right? Going from 1 to 3.4 ounces. So I was like, well, if I like this, I might as well just go all in, because actually it was basically for $16 more with my discount, right? So I decided to do it. So for those of you that haven't seen, like I just like the packaging of the box. I love this like very soft, natural picture of Billy, and I like I said, I really like this packaging. It's heavy. The only thing about this that I don't love is if you have small hands, like, I mean, I would say I have average to smaller hands. So the sprayer was originally aligned to come out this way, but I was like, well, okay, I was trying to like figure out the best thing to do. So I was like, oh, well, I'll just turn the nozzle and then I'll be able to go like this and it'll spray towards me. But then it actually ended up getting quite a bit on the top of the packaging. I was like, well, that's kind of a waste. So I put it back. So now it's been like trying to figure out a way. It's not that big of a deal, but it isn't as easy as I would have liked. But really, really happy to have this one. I really enjoy it. It's definitely not a fragrance for everybody, but I think if you give it time, a lot of people would enjoy this one. This is one that I like to put on before I sit down to do my makeup, so that initial burst of that more masculine scent is gone by the time I need to go to work. I enjoy that part of it, but that's not what I want to smell like. I enjoy smelling it, but I don't want to smell like that, if that makes sense. And by the time I get to work, it's a whole new creature. So just wanted to share that one. We're going to talk about the other fragrance at the end. Oh, and I should make a note that I feel like I scored pretty well with the freebies, but we're gonna dive into these and see if I got suckered or not. You know how it goes sometimes. The promise is different than what's in the bag. All right, another product that has been on my wish list for a while. This is by no means a new one for me. This is a repurchase. This looks like it got smashed in there. Sometimes that happens. This is the Fluff Up Brow Wax from Benefit. I have and use and love it. I am almost out of mine, and I was just waiting for a coupon to be able to purchase one. I almost got sucked into some of the little like deals that they have, you know, because Benefit usually has some duos or trios available, and this wax was in a couple of those, but I have enough other brow products. As of right now, this is my favorite brow wax. It's the best of all the worlds. It's easy to use. It doesn't really get super flaky. It is buildable. I feel like it's thickening. It's not overly sticky, shiny. I really like this one. So I was glad to pick up another one of those. The other product that I got, and maybe this has been out for a really long time. The weird thing is that they only had the travel size of this and not a full size, because I will be honest, I probably would have purchased the full size just because we know that like travel size to full size in most products, especially like Hourglass, it's not worth it. But this is the Vanish Airbrush Pressed Powder. You all know that this one is my favorite all-time ride or die powder, and this is supposed to be the pressed version of it. Now, the reason I wanted this is while I do have the travel size, because let's face it, this is kind of clunky, right? Like to put in your makeup bag, it's a lot. I do have the travel size of that powder, but it doesn't have this nice mechanism where, you know, you can just sift out some of the powder, a little bit comes out at a time. It's just basically your generic, like, rip off the sticker and hope for the best, because once that's in your bag, it goes everywhere. I do have one of those, and it's just kind of a pain in the butt. So I thought that this would be nice to try. I do prefer a loose powder, but especially under the eye, I can definitely get down with a pressed version. I think you tend to just use a little less. Most people do. I'm trying to like get the origami of this thing open. So yeah, I think we all have like a little mini Hourglass something from, oh my gosh, this is even more mini though. Oh, it's fine, it's fine. But like, I feel like that's not a lot. What was this, like $30? I think this was like $30. It's all good. This is why we use points, right? And I had the coupon too. And it does come with a little puff. I will probably not keep the puff. I don't know, we'll have to see. But I usually use a brush. But this was a splurge. It was a little bit of a splurge. I do feel like this one has been out for a while. If you've tried it, let me know. It was a splurge. What can I say? All right, so the other product that I got. Now, a couple things here. Now, I only spend my points in $125 increments. If you've looked into the Ulta point system, it's sort of like, I don't know how you'd call that, not exponential, but like the more you save, the more they're worth. And it caps off at $125, which I believe is like 3,000 points, something like that. So I use them in those $125 increments. So I knew I was either going to be spending $125 or $250. I did not have anything near enough on my wish list to hit the 250, but I did want to spend the 125 and be fairly close to that. So when I found this fragrance and I was like, oh, I do really like this, I decided to go for it. So this is the Philosophy Fresh Cream Soft Velvet. I'm going to pull it out here. So like I said, I saw Alicia talking about this on her channel, and it was kind of like a, not what I expected. Like not a, I hate it, but like a, not what I expected kind of review. But when she was talking about it, it sounded so good. I will be honest, like I'm going to look up the notes here. And I remember telling her this. I was like, I don't get what they talk about in this. So the Fresh Cream Soft Velvet scent is listed as an ambery gourmand, and the key notes, you have top notes of ginger accord, the middle notes of Casablanca lily, and the base of vanilla and chocolate. I literally do not get that. I mean, maybe the softest chocolate ever. You get some vanilla. I mean, what this reminds me of is honestly like cherry or like dark berries. Okay, strawberry shortcake dolls, but like sexy. Like I can't decide if it's strawberry, cherry, it's like berries. I'm just gonna say berries because I'm like, oh, is it raspberry? I get more berries out of this than chocolate for sure. It is gourmandy, but not overly sweet. This is creamy. It's like a skin scenty, dark fruit and that drizzle of chocolate, or almost even like a dusting of cocoa over the top with a like sifter, you know? It just smells so good. And honestly, these are priced really pretty well. So for the full size here, which is 2 ounces, it was $54 at full price, which I thought was really good. Jeremy and I are going to a movie tonight, and this might be my date night scent. We'll see. I had him smell both because that day that I was at Ulta trying out all the scents, let me tell you, my nose was dead by the time I got done there. Oh my God, I was dying. But I put the Billie Eilish on one wrist, and I put the Fresh Cream Soft Velvet, because there are so many different fresh creams, but I put the Soft Velvet on the other. And I tell you what, then I was kind of worried because I'm like, do I like these together? Am I smelling this together? Which actually, I'm not mad at that either. But like, I was like, okay, I really need to figure out my life here. And Jeremy liked both scents. And I think he had the, ooh, that's really nice and intriguing about the Billie Eilish. But this was like, ooh, that's really like yummy and sexy, you know, like girly sexy, like not like badass sexy. Does that make any sense? Anyway, I'm excited to have them both. By the way, just to tell you how ridiculous I am, I did go in, before I made my purchase, I did go in one more time into Ulta, and I popped this one on to make sure that I wanted it. I literally just walked in, sprayed it on, walked out. I was like, research. I mean, whatever. I ended up making a purchase, so I'm sure it's not that big of a thing. All right, so that is what I got with my $125 plus. I did end up spending a few of my own dollars, not really that big of a deal. All right, before we get into the gifts with purchase that I got from Ulta, because I know that's not everybody's jam, I did just want to say, and I have to celebrate, this product has been on my to-buy list for a very long time, and I was just waiting for a sale. And finally, Camera Ready had like a 20% off sale, so I finally snagged the Face Atelier foundation. This is the Ultra Foundation Pro in the shade Olive. Very clearly, this is not my skin tone, right? But what it is a product that I am absolutely going to love using to get more of an olive range out of my foundations, or to cancel out some pink in some of the foundations that I have. And I can say that this works because I actually have it on right now with my MAC Studio Water Weight that I'm trying to use up. It's beautiful. While this is only 1 ounce of product, this is going to last me a very, very long time because I was trying to get like the tiniest little like semi pump out of this. Even though it looked a little dark on my hand when it went on the face, it's beautiful. It's lovely. I'm so excited to have this. I was going to snag it sooner than later anyway, and I was glad that I waited for the Camera Ready sale, so very excited to have this to be able to use more of the makeup that I have. In some of the shades it's like a little bit off. I have a really hard time trying to find a product that is going to be the right skin tone for me. So I'm just gonna show you here like the color of this, because it truly is like an olive green. You know, I mean, it really kind of like goes with my shirt. My shirt's just a little bit more golden than this one is, and that's exactly what I wanted, was something that isn't too golden of an olive. I wanted something that, you know, is really going to be like that true, almost green, but this has that natural undertone to it that isn't like, you know, some of those green correctors can be almost like minty and chalky looking. And so the thing about this is, I think anyone who's looking for a bit more like a green corrector or something to add into things that seem to be leaning a little bit too cool, this is going to be beautiful. And it could work for like even the deepest skin, I would think, to be able to do that correction because it is so deep, and this is gonna last a long time. So I'm very excited to finally have this one. Thank you to my friend Mel for even telling me about this. Okay, so now we're gonna get into these gift with purchase and see if I got suckered with samples or if we're gonna end up having some good things that we'll actually use. The day that I purchased, Philosophy was actually doing a gift with purchase. So you got a little mini eau de toilette from Philosophy, and this is the Amazing Grace scent, which is, I'm sure, one of their all-time like top sellers. And then you got this little bag of which I will probably like pass along to someone or something. But in this little bag, you also got Radiant Grace, which is a scent that I don't think that I've smelled before. So that's going to be interesting to try. And these are actually like nice little samples. They're little daubers, which I don't love, but a nice, cute little guy to travel with. So I'll be interested to try that one. So that's just really nice. So that alone was like a nice little extra, but they were also doing one of those like ginormo bags with a bunch of stuff. So let's see a little bit of what we got here, shall we? If you don't want to sit through this, you don't have to, but I'm really curious to see, you know, first of all, when they show the bags, I think that there were originally 3 options. Only 2 of them were left by the time I purchased, which was fine. So you have this almost like pool floaty looking bag, but that, I mean, how many bags does a person really need? But that will kind of be nice maybe like for summertime. Oh, I feel like there are way more fragrance samples in here. There are so many fragrance samples in here. I don't think that this was supposed to come with all of these. I think that maybe they just like chucked in an extra one. There is no way. There is no way that this was supposed to come with this much. I keep searching through here and I keep finding more fragrance samples. All right, so let's talk about what's in here. I'm just gonna run through these really quick. If you don't wanna stick around for this, that is totally cool. So Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. I love the thought of this, but it does not smell good on me. It smells like cleaning products. We're gonna pass that one along. Victor and Rolf Flower Bomb, classic, but I don't need this. I actually have tried it before many times. So Valentino. Okay, we have 4. So we have the Valentino Donna Born in Roma. Then I ended up somehow getting 2 of the Born in Roma Extra Dose, which I don't think I've smelled. And then we have the Omo, which I believe is the men's. So this one will be going along to Jeremy, and that one is the extra dose as well. So then we have Alien, a classic that just recently somebody was talking about. I was like, gosh, I haven't smelled this one in a long time. So that will be kind of fun to try out. And then we have Ralph Lauren Polo. I think this might be the classic Polo. And then we have Invictus Victory Elixir from Paco Rabanne. So Jeremy's getting some treats. And Ralph Lauren Romance, Prada Paradox. This is one that I don't necessarily love, so I'll probably pass that one along as well. And then we have Good Girl from Carolina Herrera. Also one that I'm just kind of like so-so about. I wish I could figure out what the one is that smells so good in here. And then our last one is Irresistible by Givenchy, and this is Rose Velvet. I don't know if they have several options there. So those are all the fragrance samples. Okay, so now a few things in here that are intriguing me. First of all, I'm really excited. I want to see what shade this is. So this is a little small travel size of the RMS Hydra Setting Powder, which I love. It's actually, oh, and this is in the shade Light. That's going to be great. So I think I have the medium shade, so I'm extra excited for this. This is my second favorite setting powder. So right behind the Hourglass would be this one, so excited to have a little travel size. Then another product that I know and love and use all the time is MAC Fix Plus. This is a really nice little bottle, and I am excited to have this. I'm wondering if this is one that I can refill. I do have one of the little minis that looks more like this that's in my travel bag right now, and I'm excited to be able to have a little small guy like this. If it is refillable, that's going to be extra bonus points, and I'll probably like transfer. Now we have the Maybelline Sky High Mascara, which I don't think I've actually tried. Anastasia Brow Gel, I will probably pass that along. Is this a Stila liquid lip? Oh no, it's a liquid eyeshadow. Heck yeah. Okay, I was like, if it's a liquid lip, I'm gonna be passing this one along. We have a liquid eyeshadow, a lip pencil from NYX, all great things. And then I have a peptide lip balm from Revolution and the Power Grip Primer from e.l.f. in like little travel sizes. That's not bad. Plus a ton of samples. Oh my God. And another, we have Sublime by Tory Burch. Is this the one? I cannot tell what smells so good, but another fragrance and many little sample pods in here. So lots of packets. This one, like this Method body wash, I'll be excited to have this on a little trip. That'll be nice to have. But oftentimes these packets, I just give them away to people who I think would use them more. But, oh, we have some blemish patches. Those are gonna be nice to have. So all in all, that's a pretty good gift with purchase. So I feel pretty good about that. I try to not get drawn into purchases by gifts with purchase, which I used to do all the time, but when one comes up when I'm already planning a purchase, it is an extra bonus. All right, so maybe that was a bit of a random haul. Let's face it, it kind of was, but it's been a while since I've done a haul here, and these are some things that I was genuinely excited to pick up. And apart from this guy, apart from this scent, they were all things that I've been thinking about for a while. So that's not too bad. And I'm definitely going to wear this one tonight for date night. I think that'll be good. So thanks for hanging out with me for this little haul. Let me know if you've picked up anything recently. Also, please let me know down below. Are you like me? Do you hoard your points or do you spend them as you accumulate them? You know, because at the store, they're like, oh, you have $8 in points. Do you want to use that or whatever? I'm always like, no, I'm saving them. I'm saving them. So I do still have a good chunk of them to spend, but I will probably wait for another coupon. Let's be honest, y'all. All right, lovelies, that's it for this one. If you did enjoy getting to see me unbox my Ulta haul, don't forget to click like. It really does help me out. Let me know down below if you decided to use your 20% off coupon. I would love to know. I definitely was excited to see it, took advantage, not too much, not too many impulse buys, one that I think I'm really gonna enjoy, and that's not too bad. All right, I hope you're having a great spring, and I will see you really soon.